Hey guys, this is your weekly astrology forecast from Born Without Boundaries Tarot over here on Astrology Motivation. For those of you listening on the podcast, I have a premier YouTube channel, Born Without Boundaries Tarot, and then I have a secondary YouTube channel, Astrology Motivation. Born Without Boundaries Tarot is where I upload 12 zodiac sign videos every single week. So there's messages for each zodiac sign, plus extended readings if you choose to join the Unbound membership on the Born Without Boundaries channel. Over on Astrology Motivation is where I do my daily general tarot card reading live chat, so we can interact as I do a general tarot card reading and help to channel a message for you guys. Those we always have a really good time. Plus I post this weekly astrology forecast over on Astrology Motivation as well, so if you want to actually see the video and see me talking to you, check it out over there. What I'm going to do is I try to use as few astrological terms as possible, because I try to be your translator, not your teacher. For astrology instruction, if you guys want to email me, then I will definitely recommend wonderful astrology teachers for you. But for right now in this video, I'm just going to summarize basically the energies of this week. If I had to summarize it into one word, I would say contention, because it is a very contentious week. There's contention between what you want and what you expect and what you're willing to do to get it, and what the flow and the faith of the surrounding energy is ready for. There is this conjunction between the sun and the moon during the new moon on the 28th. That's Tuesday of this week. And I would love to say to you guys, oh, it's just a beautiful, refreshing newness, new moon. It's not. It's contentious, because this conjunction, this new moon, is square to Jupiter. It's a conjunction between the moon and the sun. That's what happens every new moon. And so we really know exactly what it is that we want, but we're square to Jupiter, which means we might be trying to do too much, or willing to do too much, or force too much in order to get it. That includes spreading ourselves too thin, or it includes pushing people, pushing projects, pushing where we shouldn't, like insisting that things grow based on our ego and our desires, instead of based on what they're ready for. And so this is going to set up a lot of contention through the week. The primary contention is modeled, I believe, in the beginning of the week, where Saturn is square to Mars, but Saturn is sextile to Mars, but Pluto is square to Mars. Mars controls our actions, the actions that we take, our drive. But check this out, y'all. If Saturn is square to Mars, saying, hey, we're going to figure this out, everything, precision, we'll get it done, we can make it work. But Saturn is sextile to Mars, saying all that. But Pluto is square to Mars, saying, this doesn't work, this isn't this isn't right. You're breaking things down too much. You're making them bad. You're pushing yourself in ways that could actually hurt you and cause destruction. Pluto always wins, guys. Always. Pluto versus Saturn makes Saturn look like a fucking fool. Every fucking time. Because Saturn is 3D consciousness, limitations and restrictions of the 3D world. And if we're not listening to Pluto, we're not listening to the primal, we're not listening to our intuition, we're not listening to our psychic abilities, we're not listening to any of those things, then there's going to be almost like a deceptive vibe that says, we can get this done, let's get this done, we're figuring it out. But it's still not going to work, which is going to cause huge frustration, when you could have had no frustration if you would just do what Pluto's asking you to do, because Pluto is sextile to Neptune, saying, have fucking faith. The way to get things done this week is faith and flow. It's not add something new to your work routine. Add something new to this. Push. Insist on things from people that are not ready to give them to you just because you want it and you need it. If you push with that kind of ambition this week, you're going to fucking break things. You're going to break down. You're going to be constantly disappointed, because nobody controls the beast. Pluto is the beast. If Pluto is telling Mars that it's dangerous to move, it doesn't matter what fucking Saturn is telling Mars at the same time. Don't fucking move. Don't play with the beast. But ultimately, this insistence, this demanding, this I'm controlling you and I'm going to take action to dominate you is actually going to expose you as a piece of shit. It's actually going to expose you as somebody who is domineering and doesn't care about what other people feel. As somebody who takes on too much and pretends to be too big and really can't handle the schedule they took on. And this is where the contention is, because I know you're ready for bigger things. I know you want bigger things, and that's really wonderful. And you should want bigger things and should know that you deserve them and are capable of them. But you can't push against the cosmos and wrangle it in like it's your little bitch. You can't do it. You have to manifest with the flow, with the energy that's there in front of you, with the energy of the time. Sometimes you can't do it all. And this is what I think the culmination of that new moon in Cancer is about. Sometimes you can't do it all. No matter what you feel, no matter what you desire, no matter what you want, you have to fucking wait for the cosmos to be in sync and aligned. And you wouldn't have these egregious disparities between your desires and what you have in your life if you would fucking just shut the fuck up and listen and pay attention and stop acting out of desperation and need for validation. And that's the kind of shit that we are going to be confronting this week. So this new moon is really to show you a new way to do things, to how sucky it is when you make decisions based on your petty needs, your moodiness, your fears, your emotions. When I tell you guys to feel and base your decisions on your feelings, on what you feel, not your feelings, but on what you feel. I'm talking about you picking up on the fucking vibrations around you, not your fucking emotions. Because all of this emotional reactivity is really leading you to overburden yourself, have great expectations based on nothing actually there, and let you down every time, and that's going to be discouraging to you. It's going to be discouraging to you. And this trine between Saturn and Mercury is very deceptive. It's deceptive because it's almost like, hey, yeah, I can talk my way into anything. Oh, I'm smart. I got this. Yeah, I'm just going to figure it all out. I can do it. You can't. That's ego. That's ego saying what the energy in the universe completely disagrees with. You know, how come you, instead of asking how come the universe isn't aligned to me and everything that I desire, you got to ask, why am I not aligned to the universe? Why am I not listening? And maybe if I were, things would be working out for me with me doing a hell of a lot less work, a hell of a lot less tension, a hell of a lot less neediness and fear and desperation, right? A hell of a lot less of any of that. If I could just shut the fuck up for a second and stop with my dumbass ego and just say, what is right for me right now? I said this last week and I'm saying it this week. We need to slow the fuck down right now. It's summertime. People push against Cancerian season all the time because they're always like, oh, it's so emotional. It's not emotional if you let yourself be. It's not emotional if you connect with the flow of the universe and enjoy the fucking summer. Don't push during this time. Whatever you're pushing during this time, especially this week around this new moon and toward the end of the week, forget about it. That's when everything breaks because we have a grand cross in the sky on Saturday. And that's when everything fucking breaks. It just don't fucking work. And that's what everything falls apart. Everything falls apart because whoever out there has made their decisions on desperation and need to validate, it all crumbles. It all breaks down. It goes kasplat by Saturday. So if you want to save yourself that trauma and you want to save yourself that kind of disappointment, then slow your fucking roll. Stop pushing. Stop insisting and stop stretching yourself so thin that you're not focusing on what you're really good at. You know, the secret to this week, to success this week, is kind of dialing it back or slicing off the fat, like trimming the fat. It's boiling it down on almost reduction style, if you know anything about cooking. Reducing it to what's only important. What's important? What's the important stuff that you have to get done? What needs to be done? Everything else has to not be done. Just let it go. When you have Jupiter square the sun and the moon, the best thing you can do for yourself is to focus on what you know, what you're certain of. Not to try to expand and do something different, because that's going to frustrate the shit out of you and you're not going to have the patience to learn. What have you already learned? What do you already know? Focus on that, work with that, function within that, and have the faith to understand that that is all you need to get far and get everything that you desire. I love you guys. Feel free to leave comments below because you know I love to know. Feel free to share this video on your social media platforms. Remember to like this video and subscribe over here to Astrology Motivation, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the weekly videos over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. Bye.